Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Raven and I am here with a different type of video for you guys. So if you're one of my current subscribers or you've been to my channel before, you know that I typically create planner related content on this channel. However, I kind of went on hiatus because I kind of was in a rut with planning and doing YouTube. It was no longer fun for me anymore. I felt more like a chore and I really just honestly stopped planning for a while, but I'm back into it. I have my planner right here. This is my little book journal that I am currently using, but I still don't feel like I want to do planner stuff on this channel. I want to add more things. And a hobby of mine that I started doing this year while I was on my hiatus is reading. I used to love reading so much when I was a kid in middle school, high school. I was such a bookworm, but then I just kind of stopped. But this year I picked it back up again. So yeah, I really wanted to kind of show my love for books and for reading on this channel because it honestly is a big part of me. I don't know why I wasn't showing it in the first place, but I'm going to now. So for this video, I am going to show you guys my October TBR, which means to be read list for this upcoming month. So for me, October is like spooky season, cozy season, and I really wanted to read books that centered around both of those. So right next to me, right here, is my TBR cart, my to be read cart. And basically any books I want to read for the upcoming months or books that I really want to get around to, I keep them in this cart so they're just like always on hand for me. I love it. I've been seeing it everywhere on Bookstagram and on Book Talk, so I wanted to grab one of my own. It did used to house a lot of planner stuff. I was able to condense all of my planner items into one single cart instead of me having two planner related carts. So I have my own little book cart here. Do not mind my little Korok sitting right there. Instead of him protecting the Deku tree, he is protecting the books to be read. So we love him for that. Now, before we get into it, I'm just gonna say right now, this is a long TBR list for October. I am hoping I get through them all. Some of them I think I'm gonna fly right through because it's a mix of genres. We have mystery, we have thrillers, we have romance. So some of them I know I'm gonna get through really quickly. Others I'm not so sure, but we'll just see. But I'm gonna go ahead, pull my cart over, and then we will get into the list. So the first books that we're gonna go over are books for specifically book clubs. I am in one book club now. There is someone that I watch that is a streamer. Her name is Scylla Ponce. I'll go ahead and link her down below, but she has a book club on her Discord server. And so I am a part of that because I regularly watch her streams. And yeah, I just love the book club. I've been there for this whole year so far, and it's just been amazing. Such wonderful people in there. But the book we are reading in there for this month of October, it might change just because we might want something more spooky for the spooky season. But our plan is to read Dawn by Octavia E. Butler. This is a adult fiction dystopian read. So basically, all I know is that this book takes place like right after a nuclear war. Earth is pretty much just uninhabitable. Aliens, I know there's aliens involved, aliens come down to Earth and they kind of try to help the human race because we are basically we almost extincted ourselves pretty much. So they come down, try to help us out. I believe this main character, she is a woman lead character and her name is Lilith, I think it is, or yeah, Lilith. Basically it's like she wakes up on this alien ship and you know, it's basically the outcomes of like what happened to our planet Earth, and I think she has to kind of have the decision of should she help the human race or not. I'm not 100% sure. This has been on my TBR for like years when I was in high school. This is a very old book. Octavia E. Butler has gotten a lot of praise recently for a lot of her works. Sadly, she's no longer with us, but I think she's amazing. And I know that this is actually a part of, I don't know if it's like a series or a trilogy. I just think that this one's gonna be a really good read and I'm excited to read it in a book club because I feel like there'll be a lot for us to discuss. And I believe this book is only like, let's see how many pages it is. This book is only 283 pages, so it's not super long, but it also has a reading group guide. So I love when books have that, because whenever discussion's kind of quiet and there's not much to talk about, you can look through here and have some pretty good questions to follow up with. So a pretty fast read. To me, if it's like 300 pages or below, I consider that as a fast read. Some people might view that as long, but you know, it doesn't matter how long it takes you to read a book or whatever. All that matters is that you're reading, babe. So gotta check this one out. So the next books I'm gonna show you are kind of like a twofer. I am in another book group. It's actually a book buddy reading group, if that makes sense. My friend Gabby, who goes by Tiny Book Gardener on Instagram, that's her bookstagram handle. I'll go ahead and link that down below. Definitely check her out. She also has a Discord server where it is a book book buddy type of thing. But we are currently reading the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. So we are currently right now in September, the very end of September, and the first like week or two of October, we are reading Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas, which is the sequel in the Throne of Glass series. So I have not started it yet. My plan is to start it this week. This one is only, let's see how many pages this one is. This book is only 418 pages, so it's a little bit longer than what I'm typically used to. But Throne of Glass, I got through that one in a few days, so I think I'll be able to do this one pretty well. And with Throne of Glass, I actually annotated that book, so I think I have it up here, if you could see it, above my head, my shelf. But I plan to annotate this one as well, just because it is a fantasy young adult book. So typically with fantasy books, there's a lot going on, a lot of world building, a lot of new characters, character development. I heard specifically too with Sarah J. Maas, this is like, my second time reading her works, that she does add a lot of characters. And the first Throne of Glass, I don't think there was that many characters. I was able to kind of distinguish them all pretty well. If anything, I just couldn't pronounce any of their names. So hopefully I have better luck with this one. I really enjoyed the first one, so I'm very hopeful about this one. But like I said, we're only reading this one to like the second week of October, then we're gonna have our discussion. And the next book we'll be reading is the third book in the series, which is the Heir of Fire. Again, you're following the same main character, as you can see from the book cover, same person. But we'll be probably starting this the second half of October. So I wanted to show this just because I'm gonna be following along with the book club. So it's not so much like my own personal reading, but I'm really interested in this series and I hear such wonderful things about Sarah J. Maas. So hopefully it goes well. So the next two books I'll be showing you guys are actually going to be books I checked out from the library. So the first one is this book right here. I'm really excited about this one. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. The ring light is like making it hard to see, but it's called The Very Secret Society of Irregular, which is by Sangu. I think it's Sangu Mandanna. Sorry if I'm pronouncing her name wrong. I'll go ahead and anything about the authors of this book, I'll try to link down below. And oh my gosh, I'm trying to show it without like the lights being in the way. But the book looks like this. It's a beautiful cover. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry guys, you cannot see it that well. But it's a beautiful cover. And what I've kind of got from this book is that you are following this girl here who is a real life witch. I believe her name is Mika Moon. Basically, she posts to like a fake Instagram or like a fake YouTube displaying what she does. But I think she has it so like people think it's fake, like it's not real. But someone sees it and I think they believe that like, hey, you really do have powers, don't you? So they get in contact with her and they need her help at this house because in this house are other witches that do not know how to control their powers or anything like that. So basically she is called to go and to help out those that live in this house. Basically other witches, I'm assuming. But I do hear this is a slight bit of a rom-com because you can see there's a fella down here. I forgot this character's name, but I believe that he's very skeptical of Mika. Like he is just kind of like, I don't know, who is this girl? Like who just displays their powers online for people to see? But then they develop a relationship, I think. I don't know. It's a bit of like a little rom-com, I think. Little romance. So I love that. I love romance stuff. So yeah, so we're gonna see where this follows, what Mika decides to do. I do hear that there is like a twist or there's like a obviously like for the climax something pretty big happens and I think it can endanger the witches because I don't know if in this world witchcraft and witches is an acceptable thing. So we'll just have to see, but I'm very excited about this one. This book I have to read pretty much as soon as I can because at the library, this book has holds on it, so it has to be due on its due date. I can extend my time with this book, but yeah, I think it's gonna be really good. And I think I already said the page length, did I? If not, I'm gonna do it again. 316 pages. And it also has a reader's guide, which I think is really cool too. So it kind of gives you things to think about or things to follow with. But yeah, I'm really excited about this one, and it's probably gonna be my first read for October, if I'm gonna be very honest. So the next book on my October TBR read is Nothing More to Tell by Karen N. McManus. I hope I'm saying her last name right. McManus, I think that's how you say it, but she is the author that created One of Us is Lying, which is another young adult mystery slash thriller book. One of Us is Lying is actually a show, I believe, on Netflix right now, or HBO, one of those. But yeah, I heard a lot of good things about this book. I am at the library I work at. We are subscribed to the, I think it's called the Book Page newsletter. So you get like this pamphlet with new books and stuff. And this one had its own little section in September's issue, which is what kind of caught my eye. Like I got on the radar. So I really, really want to check this one out because it sounds a lot like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, and I love that one. And I don't know, I just love murder mystery type things. And I actually like books that are set in high school. Like, I don't know, maybe my high school experience was just so vanilla, boring. Like, I wasn't popular, I wasn't a loner. I was just there in high school. So this makes me think high school can actually be really exciting and crazy. So yeah, so this is the book that I plan to read. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It is another library read. I have this one checked out for a while. So this book is 356 pages long, so it's not too long for me because it is a mystery. I feel like I might eat this one up super quickly if I'm being very honest. If it's anything like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I'll be done in like a day or two. Not even playing. So basically, this book follows a character that I believe like returns home or something like that, where they are interested in like true crime and stuff. I think they get like an internship or something with some place. And basically, they used to go to the school, and one of their teachers was found dead outside of their school, like in the back of the school or something like that. And these 3 students were the ones that were there, like they found the body or something like that. They suspect that one of them might have been one to do it, but no one was charged with the murder from what I know of. Like, I think it's still like an open case or something. But the person that's kind of coming in and is searching around looking into this case used to be best friends with one of these 3 people here. So it's kind of one of those, like, did one of them do it? Did they do it together? Were they purposely trying to be framed? Might one of them be a target next? I don't know. So to me, it just seems really interesting. And yeah, I'm really excited to read Nothing More to Tell. So the next book that I want to read for the month of October is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I just love this cover. I think it looks so cool and unique. I don't know. I just really like it. And I love this like orangey pinkish color. It's doing something for me. I really like it. But all I know about this book is that it is a bit of a rom-com with ghosts. I'm very interested in that. That sounds very unique. Something I haven't read before. So that sounds very interesting. One thing I do know about this book is that it does deal with grief, so definitely check out any triggers for this book. I know that some people can handle things like that. Some people can't, might hit a little too close to home, so definitely look up, a bit more information about this one. So what I got from this book is that the main character is back in her hometown. I think it's after like a parent of hers passes away. And it's one of those where she's back home, but she doesn't want to be there. She wants to leave as quickly as she can. But right as she's like about to go, something gets her to stay. Obviously, if there's like a ghost involved and it's not trying to kill me, I might be a little interested too. So something catches her interest to stay and to kind of figure more out about what's going on. And that's all I really know. I just know there's a ghost or ghosts, maybe it's plural. Definitely there's one ghost, I know for sure. But yeah, I just think that this is a very interesting cover. I see a lot of good reviews of it. A lot of people that have read this book that I follow on Bookstagram, a lot of them say like, you know, definitely check this one out. So I think it's a good like kind of cozy vibe for the month of October, and it has ghosts, so obviously spooky season. Yeah, so I'm very, very excited to check this one out because I love me, as I said before, a good romance. And I believe this book is only 344 pages long, so that's really good. It's not too long, but again, you know, it's a good, I think it'll be a really good book. I hear such good things about it, so I am definitely excited for this one. Okay, this next book I am so excited for. It is Good Girl, Bad Blood. So how I mentioned earlier, the book A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This is the sequel. I'm so excited. So this one is by Holly Jackson. It is a young adult mystery thriller. It's probably gonna be a murder mystery again. I'm pretty sure. I don't know a whole lot about this book. I just know that it follows our two main characters from the first one, Pip and Ravi. I think Pip in this one makes like a podcast about the mystery that she solved in the first book, and I think she kind of decides like she wants to have like a normal teenage experience, you know, with her friend Ravi, and that doesn't happen to her. I think that like someone again, you know, is murdered or missing, and Pip has to go and figure out what the heck is going on. And she's the one to do it, okay? This girl, I'm telling you, I'm so excited for this book because A Good Girl's Guide to Murder completely sucked me in, babe, like 100%. I finished that book in one day. I stayed up till like 4 o'clock in the morning to finish that book, which some people might be like, oh, that's too much for that kind of book, but I love it, okay? I love young adult books, and I love murder mystery books. They're so interesting. So I'm so excited for this one. And I hear a lot too on Bookstagram that the second one is better than the first one. So if that's true, this is going to be done in a day, I think, 100%, because yeah, I'm just so excited for this one. Let's see. This book also is only, how many pages? 397 pages. So it's a bit longer than what I'm used to, but I feel like I'm just gonna eat this one up, babe. Not even playing. Yeah, and so the third one also is currently out. I think it came out earlier this year. I believe that one is called As Good as Dead. I think it's what that one's called. But yeah, I want to finish this one first and then wait a couple months to read that one, just because typically when I'm on like a high of a book, if I read the next one in the series too soon, I kind of don't feel as excited. So I don't know, maybe after I finish this one, I'm going to want to read the next one like ASAP. So I might add that one to my October TBR, or I might decide just to give myself a couple weeks to like let that high kind of die off and then go to the next one. But I'm excited too because I also recently heard that this is going to be a show, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. It's going to be on BBC. So that's exciting. I love reading books that become, you know, films or TV shows. I just love it so much. So yeah, I'm so excited for this one. So the next book on my TBR is One of Us is Lying. And this is also by Nothing More to Tell, the same author, Karen M. McManus. This is the one that I said that was a Netflix TV show. I think it's Netflix or HBO. I'm not 100% sure. It could be Hulu. Honestly, I don't know. I'll put it down where you can watch the TV show. But I'm gonna be very honest. I hear a lot of mixed things about this book. Some people love it, think it's great. Some people are just like, no, it was wasting my time. And there's others that are like, you know, if you have the time, read it, but don't make it a priority. So I'm not really sure of what to think of this book. The premise of it to me sounds so interesting. That's why I really want to read it. So basically there are, I think it's 5 students. Yeah, so it's 5 students. They are like in detention, and at the end of their detention time, one of them is dead. So they're trying to figure out what happened to this kid. The 4 of them that are there, obviously they're gonna deny like I didn't do anything wrong. It wasn't me, but they're trying to figure out what exactly happened to this student. So I think that is so interesting because it's like, someone had to do it. So it could kind of be like nothing more to tell. It could have been all of them working together, solely one of them. It could have been that they were framed and set up, you know, I don't know. But I am very, very interested in this one. Again, too, because I always see like on Netflix, I think it is Netflix that it's on, but I'll see stuff like, you know, promoting the show. I'm like, I really want to watch the show, but I know it's a book, so I want to read the book first. So I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna like this one again. Like I said, I like young adult books. I like things set in high school. Um, yeah, I'm just interested to see how this one will be. And this one, let's see how many pages it is. This book is 358 pages long. It also has like a resource page in the back, and it also has a couple of intros to her other books. So One of Us is Lying is actually a prequel to another book of hers that is called One of Us is Next. So that's the next one. Again, depending on how good this one is, kind of determines if I'm going to read the next one or not. Because that's just how I prefer. You know, life's too short to force yourself to finish a book or finish a series. If you don't like it, move on to the next one. But I am hopeful about this and I am interested in it. I just realized we are on 8 books now. I'm a little nervous. So this next book, I am so eager to read it. And it is called The Undertaking of Hart and Mercy by Megan Bannen. So The Undertaking of Hart and Mercy is an adult fantasy read. It takes place in its whole other world. There's like talking animals and stuff. I believe Hart and Mercy are undertakers, to where in this world, when someone passes on, they have to have a burial, like they have to be buried or something like that. And so they're kind of like work colleagues that I don't think like each other much, but then, you know, obviously something happens from there. There's a heart on the cover for a reason, I'm assuming, you know, not only because his name is Hart. But I just think this is a gorgeous cover. I really do love it. I love the pink and the blue. I think it's so cute. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited for this one because it really reminds me of spooky season, kind of like that cozy feel too. And it's a romance, so I'm down. One thing though I do hear about this book, some people love it. 100%, this is the best book ever. You need to read it. This is wonderful. But then there are also people that are like, what the heck is this? This was not good. No. Why was this published? So I don't know how to take that. And I think the reason why the scale is so this or that, and it's because this book, from what I heard, is just full of romance tropes. So if you're new to reading and you're like, what is a romance trope? A romance trope is basically something that is a common theme that happens in a book. So for instance, you might have a grumpy character. Usually it's the guy who's like grumpy, he's cranky, he's kind of like an asshole to everyone. And then the girl, who would be like the love interest in the book, is usually this like sunshine, happy, go lucky type girl, you know. And it's kind of like you don't see them going together because like she's so happy and wonderful and he's such a grump and like has a stick up his ass. So you don't really see them going together. So I hear that this book has the grumpy sunshine thing going on. Another trope is like, I think one that they have in here is like anonymous, like texting or like anonymous writing. Kind of think of it as like that one movie with Tom Hanks. I think it's You Got Mail, where like you're writing back and forth with someone, but like you don't know who they are. So I believe that this book also has that in here as well. I think another trope they said is like an age difference. Some people, they have this thing where they like when it's like a guy in his 30s dates like someone that's in their early 20s. That's not a trope that I really care much about, but that's one too. And yeah, so apparently this one has like a crap ton of these tropes, which some people say really hurt this book, but I don't know, because I love tropes. I love, like, I think my favorite trope is like grumpy sunshine, enemies to lovers, which I think this one is. I do also like friends to lovers, but more so frenemies to lovers. I also love one bed. So basically, like, they'll be in a situation where like they have to stay maybe in the same hotel room and there's only one bed and they have to share it. I love that trope. Yeah, so this one apparently has a ton of those tropes, and it also has the like spooky vibes and stuff. So I'm excited about it. Let's see how many pages this book is. It's 416 pages, which again is a bit lengthy. To me, about 300 is fine to me. That's considered a short book. This one's a little bit longer. I'm really excited for this one. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get to the final two. Okay, so the last two books I'm going to show you guys are kind of connected, but then not. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and show the two books to you guys now. It is my best friend's Exorcism, as well as the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. And they are both by Grady Hendrix. He is the same author for both of these books. So we'll go ahead and start with this one first, my best friend's Exorcism. Before we even start, I just love this cover. Like, can you guys really see that? That's just... it's so unique. It looks like a VHS like tape thing, you know what I mean? And it's also big too, like how VHSs were back in the day. Maybe a little bit more wider than it used to be. But like, so my best friend's Exorcism is said to be, it's set in the late 80s. So it's kind of like a Stranger Things 80s vibe, obviously. It makes a lot of references to like 80s music and a lot of references to like things of pop culture in the 80s. From what I know about this book is that it follows two best friends. I think it's like the summer or something. They go to this lake. They decide to go in and skinny dip. But when they both come out, one of them is just completely different. Something's up with her. They're trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah, so, you know, she might be possessed by something, or we don't know what, but she's acting strange and different, and the other friend is trying to figure out what is going on with her best friend. And as far as I know, this book really kind of tests the strength and the bond of this friendship. Because I can imagine that, like, you know, if something's going up, like, there's gonna be some separation issues, I would guess. So this is what this book is mostly about. Actually, my best friend Sarah is the one that recommended this book to me. She was into a podcast. I'll ask her the podcast name so I could go ahead and play it for you guys if you guys are interested. But in the podcast, they discuss a lot of like horror, thriller, that type of stuff. And this was a book they brought up, and I think the person talking about this book gave it such high review that she let me know, because she knew I was trying to figure out what I wanted to read for this month. So I'm hoping it gives that spooky, suspenseful type vibes. I hear that it reminds people a lot of like slasher movies too, kind of like Friday the 13th. So it looks like it's 332 pages long, so it's not that long of a book. Yeah, I'm just really excited about this one. And so how these are connected is because these books are set in the same world, but you're not following the same characters. So as I said, this one is set in the late 80s. This book is in the early 90s, and I believe they are within the same neighborhood or like the same part of the suburbs, but it's not following the same characters. There might be one or two things I think referenced, so you're like, oh, like it's in the same, you know, world, but I don't think anything else besides that is really connected. Maybe the strange things that happen in here is kind of like mentioned or noted in this one, but as far as I know, character-wise, the characters are not the same. It's not a direct sequel. I believe the author actually said too that this one follows more the children, like teenagers. You're seeing more of their experience, whereas the Southern Book Club one, this one follows more parents, so more their type of view of like what's going on in this world that they live in. But as I said again, it's the same exact author. As I think with this one, it follows a parent or like parents. I believe a mom specifically that's in this book club. She's a busy mom. She has kids, a husband, has to take care of the house, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if she works or not. Sorry, I have to sneeze, but it's not coming out. I don't know if she works or not, but she has her hands full and she's in a book club. And I believe in this book club, they follow, I think, like true crime and stuff like that. But then weird things has been happening in their area where they live. And I think they start, you know, kind of seeing what's going on with all the true crime stuff. And they're like, oh my God, it's happening to us now. And so I don't know for sure if that's what happens, but that's what I'm kind of guessing happens. But yeah, so I think that like the mom notices that one of the neighbors is acting weird or something like that. And I think she tells the rest of the book club and they all are like, oh my gosh. And they get into this investigating this person. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but I know it has to deal with the mom. And it's more of like the mom's views of everything. There is 404 pages with this one. So it's a little bit longer than my best friend's Exorcism. So it can be up to you. I don't think you have to read this one first, then this one. I don't think that's a big deal. Personally, I'm gonna read this one first just because I'm more excited to read this one than this one here. But I'm excited because, like I said, I'm into the whole 80s vibe right now because of Stranger Things. And I love vampires. I was a huge Twilight head, not gonna lie. Team Edward forever. Yeah, so gotta check out these ones as well. Okay, so that is pretty much it for this video. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it. I would very much appreciate it. I'll help this video get more views and stuff. And let me know if this is something that you'll be interested in seeing more of, because I do have a separate TBR list for November and December, so I wouldn't mind making these like monthly type videos. And even a few reviews, if you guys would like that, let me know down below in the comments. Also, I want to know, what is a book that you really want to read for this month or this spooky season? If you're not planning to read anything, let me know what your favorite book is. I mean, I'm very interested to know. I'm constantly adding books to my TBR. No shame. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. I do want to post more videos of things that I'm interested in, things that I like, and reading is one of them. So if you also are a fan of reading and you want to hear more about books and my journey through reading, go ahead and subscribe because it's something that I think I want to add more to this channel again. Please go ahead and follow me at my Bookstagram, the.readingraven, kind of like the reading rainbow, but Raven instead. Go ahead and follow me there. Again, it's the.readingraven. There I like to post reviews and just any cute pictures of my books and stuff. I just enjoy it. It's so much fun and it's so great to connect with other readers and to talk about books. It's just so great. I just love it so much. But go ahead and follow me there. And if you are a fellow Bookstagrammer, I always follow back. And with that, I gotta get my butt to reading. So I will see you guys next time. Again, let me know if you're interested in this type of video or if you would like to see anything else like this. This is probably the most fun I've had creating a video in a very long time, so I hope to do more. I was actually thinking of doing a video about my book journal back there, just kind of showing what it's like and how I'm using it, because I did kind of switch up some things in there. But it's been a lot of fun, and I will see you guys all next time with another book video, most likely. So bye everyone, and happy reading. Bye.